All right, shalom. You know, shalom, shalom. You know, before we get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem,
Rachab Kodash.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, safety, and much love to the elect members laboring around the four corners of the earth, giving all diligence to make their calling of election sure. All right. You know, we the brothers here, Great Millstone, Atlanta. You know, back in the spirit. You know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, Friday. You know, April the 13th, 2018, in the year of prophecy. And that's pretty much what we're going to deal with, man. It's prophecy. You know, we're going to deal with this situation that's escalating over there in Syria. Going to the scriptures, you know, and the times that we living in, man, you know, we got to be focused men, man. We got to understand, you know, the bigger aspect, the bigger picture, and not get caught up on the small things, man. All right? Because, hey, little do you know, man, you know, over in the Middle East, it's a whole major situation getting ready to take place. So that's really where our mind should be at, locked into these prophecies, constantly watching, you know, praying, you know, staying in the faith so that the Lord can protect and watch over us, you know. So, you know, we're going to go into this article real quick. I'm going to let one of the brothers read it. Brother Kasha Kwala here. You know, he can go ahead and read it. And, you know, we just going to expound and go in the spirit.
This is BBC News. And it says Russia warns of dangerous escalation over Syria. It says, I'm going to restart right there. It says Russia has warned the U.S. that launching airstrikes in response to a suspected chemical attack in Syria could spark a war between the two countries.
So this is what you call war games. This is war games, man. Now, as you know, when you read the scriptures, you got two major players in this final war, which one player is Babylon and the other is Gog and Magog. All right? These are two very important players in World War III. And you starting to see the face-off. You starting to see them at the horns about the lock, as the brother Barzal would say. You know, that clash is inevitable. All right? It's going to reach a point to where somebody's going to have to send a shot. You know? So this is the Heavenly Father's will being done right before our eyes. We have no time to get caught, you know, by Satan and the tricks, mind tricks and the mind games of Satan trying to knock you off your pivot and steal your crown, man. You know, this thing is happening. This thing is escalating, man. You know, you can continue reading, bro.
And if I can say something too, that's the war. Like Yahweh Shah spoke about, there's going to be wars and rumors of wars before his coming. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's a sign right there. Those rumors of wars, different major countries, you know, getting together or about to come together to fight this major battle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It says the immediate priority to Salat is to avert the danger of war. Moscow's UN ambassador Vasily Nabazia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
It looked like Nabinzia.
Nabinzia at the water. Said on Thursday, he accused Washington of putting international peace at risk and said the situation was very dangerous.
Now, it's a lot of idle threats going on betwixt the two countries. Well, Russia is sending shots at America, saying that, you know, under their rule, the earth is in chaos. You know, that everywhere they go, they leave a path of destruction. It's coming out the Russians' mouth. And in the same turn, America's sending out idle threats. Not idle because they're going to back it up. They sending out threats towards Russia, saying that how could you back up a country where you allowed their leader to unleash a chemical attack on his citizens and laugh about it. You know, all kind of shots are being thrown through these press conferences. I was watching the live press conference yesterday on RT. And America and Russia is basically, they got to the point where they just talking big boy shit back and forth to each other, man. But in the news and the media, they trying to make it seem like we want to de-escalate the situation. But really, there is no de-escalating this situation, man. It's gotten beyond repair. It has to end in a world war, because your allies are going against each other.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, the U.S. currency or the U.S. Federal Reserve note is not pierced in certain countries like fully in Syria and Iran. And America, through their petrodollar, they need to really conquer those different nations to keep their society afloat. So that even if they have to actually put image to demonize individuals like was it Bashar Assad and the president of Iran, they need to do so in order to invade those different countries. And that's why America plays both sides of the playing field, because they're not caring about chemical weapons being used on those Syrian civilians. It's chemical weapons being used on us in the U.S., man. Chemicals is producing the food, chemicals producing the water. All right, Flint, Michigan just got over recently over their water crisis. It's water crisis all over the world, man. Mm-hmm. And America's just so so gung-ho about Syria. Nah, they want to invade Syria, man. Yeah. You know? But that's just like the scriptures speak about those wars and rumors of wars, like I said earlier. These different individuals, they're prepping and they're mounting up for this third world war. You know, and they actually utilizing those as they did for previous countries to go and invade that land. They got to invade because they're saying it's chemical weapons. So that gives them a justification through their propaganda in the media to go in and to rearrange the system as you know it in Syria.
That's right. And if I may say too, just like what the brother was saying, even when you go and type in Google, when you look up Syrian chemical attack, all Esau uses is propaganda, because the only thing you see is little kids on each picture. They're trying to make people get to people's hearts, quote, air quotes.
Which that's what the devil do. Mm-hmm. You know, you.
But I just had a quick precept.
Bring it out. Yes,
this is Matthew 12 and 25, because we understand Russia and America going at it. It was probably two dukes of Edom.
It
says Matthew 12 and 25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Yeah, and that's basically what you see going on with Esau. It's basically two power structures out of one nation that's going against each other. And that was the same what happened when Israel divided. They got conquered. You know, when the northern kingdom left from up and the southern kingdom split, that was the downfall, man. They went into a downward spiral unto this day, man. They went into all kind of captivities. You know, the northern kingdom went into the Americas, and they started worshiping other gods and doing abnormal practices. The southern kingdom, they went up under the Persian armies. Then they went from Persia, to Greece. Then from Greece to Rome. So they got divided. Go ahead.
Come. It says, in every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
Yeah, and that's how you know that the house of Esau, all right, because this is one nation of people here that's going against each other. Now the house of Esau is going to fall. It's a house of cards, man. That's destined to fall, and they are going to be the reason why they fall. We just the news reporters. We the prophets, man. By us pushing these prophecies, the Lord is actually forcing these two superpowers to go neck and neck. By the so-called spiritual news reporters reporting this news. So they're gonna fall. Is it more?
I'm just finishing the last verse. It says, verse 26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
That's right. If Satan cast out Satan and be divided to him against himself, how can his kingdom stand? And that even goes on a lower level too. With you have division in the states.
Yeah.
You got different states, county legislations. You got different regulations, different city regulations. Then it go from we can do that in this county, but then you go a county over you can't do that in that county. Then you got different state regulations. Some states it's legal to smoke weed. Some states it's illegal. So you mean to tell me if I live in a city where it's legal to smoke weed, and let's say my pee is dirty, and I move to another state and they drug test me, I have to get penalized for that because the state here it was legal, but over here it's illegal. That's confusion.
Yeah, it's confusing.
So how can this kingdom stand if you got confusion? All right, then you got America divided against its allies. So this whole setup is destined to crumble, man. It was all set up through the Spirit. When you get into the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of Israel, there will be no division. It's one kingdom, man.
Yeah.
One world government. One rulership.
We're gonna be stepping on each other's toes.
Right. It's one law. Like, we're not gonna go to another side of the world and it's gonna be totally operated. It's gonna be the kingdom of Israel, but it's gonna be operating up under a whole nother jurisdiction. Like, no. It's gonna be all one spirit.
Yeah.
That's where your strength lies, man.
And one or unification. Everybody falling up under that one law, that one branch of knowledge, so to speak, in that one spirit. Just like it tells you, if I'm not mistaken, with that Ephesians, where it says one Lord, one body.
Yep. Ephesians, the 4th chapter.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. And that's why they're actually going into how the opposite of that it's inevitable for a kingdom to fall. We read about previous kingdoms in the scriptures, previous empires. All right, the Babylonian Empire. Babylon ruled over the whole of Mesopotamia, so to speak. They had a pretty large stretch at that time of civilization. That was the largest empire in the time of the whole known world. But guess what? They fell. Persian and the Mede, which was a joint rulership, which the Persians were the Iranians and the Medes was the Japhites. That was a large rulership.
Yep.
All right, expansive. They had amazing architecture. They had amazing military. Their entertainment, their gods, and all these different things were at the height of society. But guess what? They failed. Same thing with Greece. Same thing with Rome. Mm-hmm. They failed. So how much more America? America's been going down since the 70s, man. And America is really a young empire, man. America was established, according to U.S. history, established in 1776. So from 1776 to current day present, 2018, America has been going down.
God.
The moral conduct, the structure, the scriptures speak about how the worm shall overtake thee. That goes into the infrastructure. The infrastructure is a D. The moral value is a D. Really, it's all an F.
They going to war with every damn body.
They going to war with everybody.
For the last, since America been in power, they've been in power. I think it was 276 years, and 233 of those years they've been in some type of war. Mm-hmm. Like, goddamn, bro. Right. And they're always fighting.
And historians say, I think each kingdom have about an average of a reign about 220 years. So I know another brother in our camp, Parthon, he had put a video in 7 signs that show a kingdom or an empire going down.
Yeah.
Which is their economic, their moral structure. If you see a lot of debauchery and them flaunting their wealth, and they're obsessed with sexual festivities, for say. That's America. They're always involved in other world affairs.
Right.
That's the signs of a country going down. And one thing they said in that video, when people don't give a damn. When your people don't give a damn what's inside your country, that's a sign that your country's going down.
Yeah. And that's showing you America's CTD, circular drain.
And then these Americans don't give a shit about anything, man. No. You think these Americans out here checking the news and seeing? It's some Americans that don't even know that this situation is going on with Russia in Syria in America. Mm-hmm. They oblivious to it. This one guy, I work at this spot. This one customer, he came and told me that, hey, did you hear about the CEO of Waffle House being accused of sexual misconduct? I was like, no, I ain't heard that. I said, but I've been keeping up with this whole Russia situation in America. And he was like, oh, well, I hadn't heard about that, but I know the CEO of Waffle House. Like, bro, you mean to tell me this is your country? You supposed to be an American patriot that stands for, American code, and you worried about the CEO of Waffle House. But hey, man, it is what it is, man. We can get back into the scripture. You had some more to that? What you had?
No.
Okay, go ahead, Barzal. Then we'll jump right in Jeremiah 49.
Okay, Ezekiel 7-6. And end is come, the end is come, and watching for thee. Yeah. Behold, it is come.
That's right. The end is come, man. We at the end of the end now, man. You know, we been in the end. Even when we was in slavery, we was at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the transatlantic slave trade was happening, that was the end. When Esau came into power, that was the end. You know?
Yep.
When Yahweh Shai stepped foot on earth in the flesh, that was the start of the end.
That was it.
That was the beginning of the end.
That was the beginning of the end. Now we at the end of the end.
Yep.
You know?
Just like it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, when Jacob's hand held the, matter of fact, can you get that 2nd Ezra 6? And go up a couple verses before now, like 7. Because it goes into how we're in the time of the end of the world, man. And the last rulership is the Edomite rulership, according to biblical prophecy. When you read it in the book of Daniel, the 10 toes, which speaks about how some were stable, and some were unstable, represents the EU and NATO.
Yep.
The mixed stability of these economic communities, so to speak. And it's getting worse and worse, man. The economies of these societies are fluctuating, so to speak. They're failing. You know, you have some that's strong and you have some that's weak. And just like the brother was going into, how they have to constantly war, they have to constantly suck up the resources in order to stabilize countries like America and to keep these different places afloat. The only reason why America is afloat is because they're draining the blood out of these other countries. All right, look at Africa. Look at all these different countries where these people are suffering mass poverty, starvation. It's food every goddamn way.
Yeah.
But these different countries suffer starvation. Why? Because they sucking and oppressing the people and basically making it where the people don't eat as much and have minimal sustainability, and they actually give other countries like America full substance just to make it an illusion. That's what Rome did. Rome was all about what? Bread and circus. Mm-hmm. Even though it was down, it was declining, it was falling. But the people didn't know, you know?
That's right. That's right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the What shall be the parting asunder of times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Mm-hmm. So that was a question to Ezra. Ezra's made an inquisition to the angel of the Lord about the last days. You know? You want to say that?
Yeah, we go.
Okay. Verse 7.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
All right, it says, 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows?
So he was yearning for answers, and that's one of the main answers he wanted to know, because he knew that it was a time of infirmities and sicknesses, as the angel was speaking when he was talking to Ezra. He told him that basically he was in the time of society where everything was at the bottom, man. You know, like he said, it's infirmities and sicknesses all over the world. It's basically BS. It speaks about how menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, all these prophecies that will come as a woman in travail. So he wanted to wonder the aftermath. When is the kingdom of heaven going to be established? When is paradise going to be put on earth? Keep going.
Verse 8. And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
So he went back to the beginning, to the prophecy. Keep going.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Right. And that represented Jacob, which represents the 12 tribes of Israel, yanking Esau out of rulership. Meaning Esau will be at a height of his rulership, but through his heel, he will be pulled down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not his heel being pulled down now. All right, is he not being revealed as being a snake, just like the brother was going into? Even though that Edomite was going, off not being in a geopolitical state, but still, the spirit is showing that these crackers is being revealed for being pedophiles, homosexuals. The scriptures speak about in Isaiah 47 chapter how Babylon's skirt is going to be lifted. That's a prophecy. You know, these CEOs, these individuals that own the NFL and the NBA, these top moguls, so to speak, are homosexuals. All right, and they're pedophiles and things of that nature. That's a form of exposing the country, and that's a form of showing that a society is falling too, man. The moral conduct.
Yep.
Keep going.
Verse 10. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand of the question. Esdras asked thou not. I answered then and said, O Lord, that bears rule, if I have found favor in thy sight, I beseech thee, show thy servant the end of thy tokens, whereof thou showedest me part the last night.
Hey, if I could ask a question, I mean not ask a question, but just make a quick statement. Whenever you read up on the disciples, the prophets, and the men of the Lord, they always wanted to know what was going to happen at the end.
Always.
There was always that inquisition. So what are the signs that we should look for? How will we know when we at the end? Why? Because they wanted to be saved. You know, that's why the scriptures speak about they give a diligent search on about their salvation.
Yeah.
I think it's in the book of Peter. You know, it speaks about that, man. How they inquired about their salvation. You know. So hey, we living in a time where those holy men, those men of renown, those men of faith, and those men of character that held their ground back in the day for the Lord, hey, they're going to be given that promise, man.
In this life.
In this life, they're going to be given that promise of salvation, actually not tasting death, you know, ever again. Now that is a special gift from the Lord, man. And it took thousands of years to get that gift, man.
I got that for you.
You got it?
Yeah, this is 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 10. I'll start at 9. It says, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. Verse 10, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently.
See, the prophets, they inquire and search diligently, man. Meaning every day they come on the earth. They push the word in whatever kingdom or captivity they're in. Die, come back. Teach the word in whatever captivity they're in. Die, come back. Still seek the Lord. Die, come back. Still seek the Lord. All the way up until the point to where the Lord is going to actually come through on his promise, man. You know, that's a diligent inquisition when you still diligently coming back from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. Prophesying and coming in that same spirit of how do I get out of this? Now that's a diligent inquisition, man. Yeah. And that's the same type of spirit we got to be in. What do I need to do to get saved? How do I need to go about, you know, getting saved? You know, repentance, you know, fasting, prayer, you know, being honest with the brothers, pushing these prophecies, doing the work. These are the things that's necessary for your salvation. Ain't nobody just gonna creep up in the kingdom, man. You know, the prophets gave a diligent, and notice that it said the prophets, man. And what do prophets do? They prophesy. So if you ain't prophesying, if you ain't pushing these prophecies, if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing in the spirit, you ain't no prophet. It don't matter how much you know, man. You ain't a prophet, man. You know? But we can get back into it.
And prophets always prophesied in the kingdoms that they were located in because they wanted to go back to home, so to speak. Just like Jeremiah, if I'm not mistaken, he was in the Babylonian captivity, and he got pushed into the Persian and the Medes. If I'm not mistaken, Isaiah, you know, these different individuals, they went from one captivity unto the next. So here it is, they're prophesying against one country, and then they actually have to get carried into another country's empire, and they got to prophesy against that one. You know, so Daniel, yep.
Daniel partly prophesied in Babylon and Persia.
Yep.
You know, so pushing. Yep. And he had a high seat in both.
Yep.
You know, and you had that, man. You know, different. Well, you got brothers, that used to live in London, that live over here now, and they prophesying. You know, well, they going from one captivity or one kingdom to another, but they still prophesying.
Yeah.
You know, you got brothers that probably, you know, was born in Mexico or born in another country, but now they here in America prophesying.
Downfall of America.
You know, so hey, man, it's the same situation, man. You know, but we can go back into it.
We start back at verse 12. It says, I beseech thee, show thy servant the end of thy tokens, whereof thou showest me part the last night. So he answered and said unto me, stand up upon thy feet and hear a mighty sounding voice.
Right, which that's pretty much the point.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much the point, you know. Now we could get, I'm going to read Jeremiah chapter 40, verse 20. I'll let this brother break it down. Now this is pertaining to prophecy. All right. It says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes, that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
It's and who's the least of the flock of Edom, which the head would be Amalekites,
Yep.
but they are the least of the flock. So
Yep.
when you saw the article or the headline saying that Israel took F-15 fighter jets, which are American made, and went and bombed Syria, that's the least of the flock, bringing out who? The greater of it, America,
Yep.
to be in the Syrian war.
That's right.
And what did Russia already say to him? That you have no business to be in Syria.
Time.
All right, so you can go ahead and finish it out.
It says, surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
That's right. Matter of fact, go to verse 17 just to bring that last part of verse 20
Yep.
to light.
Is Jeremiah 49:17. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof.
That goes all the way back to Revelation 18,
Oh yeah.
with the merchants,
Yeah.
The merchants of the earth shall weep.
Well,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yep.
Because they're living deliciously off of it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Arabians pitching tent.
You got it.
No, I just want to say the Arabians pitching tent, going into the convenience stores. Because you got all these different nations. This is a melting pot where all nations are indulging off of the profits of Babylon.
Ezekiel 24.
Yep. I'm gonna grab a quick precept. I'm gonna go to the book of Micah. Micah 5. Yeah, because the prophecies, man, basically, man, the Lord gonna get some get back on you, man. So this is Micah 5:15. It says, and I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. So the Lord said he gonna bring pressure. He gonna bring something on you heathens, such as that you have not heard, man. All right. So these prophecies and these things that we prophesying on this side, these are certain things that never been heard before, man.
Right.
And especially when they begin to happen, when they really begin to unfold and to take place, these things that's going to be happening to you other nations, and 2/3 of you is going to be unheard of, man.
Because you know what? Because it says there it's not unheard because they have so much faith in this place that it's gonna keep going, like it says in the
Make
song.
America great again.
Yep.
Yeah, make America great again. But they have so much faith in it that they think nothing can bring it down. And when that time comes, it's gonna be so extremely, just for lack of a better word, just scary to them that it's gonna be unheard of. You know what I'm saying? Because they put so much faith in. That's why you still got the dollar here today, because they put so much faith into it.
And I'll say this too.
You know?
The greater the country, the harder the fall.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
So this is going to be a heavier fall than Rome. It's not going to be an identical fall where you're still going to see part of the Colosseum and go back and be able to. No, this country, the greater this country is, the more wickedness that it pushes out into the world, the harder the fall. So you already know Yahweh Shema Shai has a special destruction.
Yeah.
That's why I say such as they have not heard. Because he that's why the scriptures say we know in part and we prophesy in part. We know the main prophecies, pretty much the outline. But as far as the details of, every little situation that's going to take place is yet to be known.
That's right.
But this is Psalms like the brother.
I just want to say one thing too. And another reason why, a lot of these heathens going to get jacked up. First off, because they indulged in basically, like the scriptures say, licking the wounds. They all partook in raping us as a nation financially. And also, they even sold their own people out, man. Those Arabs that live here, a lot of them are in the porn industry. Not all of them, of course, but you have Arab women that actually indulge in the festivities of America. They celebrate Christmas. They sold out. They don't even wear the hijabs and all that bull.
Yep.
The men don't even wear beatrice. A lot of these fucking Arabs and East Indians eat pork, man.
And they don't even wear beards on their face no more.
They don't wear beards. So they're going to get judged for that. Here it is, Iran and Syria is going to get invaded, all these different Arab countries. And a lot of these countries already got previously invaded. All these heathen countries, Asia, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and Thailand, all these different places, these Asiatic countries have been plundered by the so-called white man, and you will have Asians and all these heathen nations come here and they'll act like everything is okay, man.
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
Just because they got opportunity.
Well, go to the G20 summits where everybody wearing goddamn suits.
Yep. Everybody wearing their own guards. Niggas wearing a white man guards. You know. But I got this quick scripture that you quoted. Psalms 49:11 says, "Their inward thought is that their house shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations."
You still got that Micah 5?
Yeah, I still got it.
Yeah, you go back to that too.
This is Micah. Well, matter of fact, you know, I just read up one verse.
Okay, cool.
Micah 5:14, "And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so will I destroy thy cities. And I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard." That's big boy talk too, man.
You think Russia and America talking that big boy, man?
That's big
Nah,
talk.
man, it ain't nothing compared to the Lord. But he says, "I will destroy your cities and execute vengeance, and such as they have not heard." And they got so much faith in it that they stuck in their dwelling place and think that their habitation is gonna go forever.
Yep.
But nah, Lord got different plans for you, playboy.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's the redirection. You know, the Lord gonna redirect your intentions, man.
Oh man.
You know, He's gonna redirect your preconceived outcome.
That's right.
You know, He's gonna redirect that right there. You know, because you heathens have done enough in the earth. You heathens have pumped out so many demons. You've basically destroyed the whole nation of Israel. You know, all the way up until the point where you got brothers that hate you because you created this big platform of the world. You know, everything is this so-called white man's fault, man.
That's right.
You know,
It all stems back. Right back to him.
everything, because he got traps out here. Bros get caught up in traps, and they start hating you. You know, they start hating the men around them. They start, wishing, harm and death and things like that on brothers, all because you goddamn devils, man.
Yep.
You the big fucking enemy, man. The so-called white man is the biggest enemy that the nation of Israel has ever seen, man. The nation of Edom. You pose more of a threat than the Chinese. You pose more of a threat than the East Indians. You pose more of a threat than the Japhites. You are a very, very threatening nation of people, man.
Yeah.
Especially to the nation of Israel.
And that's why the scriptures give America such a diverse look or appearance when you read it in the book of Daniel. You know, it speaks about 7 heads and 10 horns and things of that nature. When you think of something that has 7 heads and 10 horns, that's a very diabolical and mutated beast. You know, you can't. A lot of people actually try to put that in literal terms, and you'll see certain artists' makeup of an animal with 7 heads and 10 horns, and that shit looks like it's menacing and of utter disgust.
Like it was genetically created.
And this place it was genetically created. This is nothing more than a crazy scientist laboratory. This is a giant laboratory where you have transgenders, you have he/she's walking around, man.
Right.
Big experiment.
Yep. What is it? The cage of every foul spirit, but what that represents, the aftermath. But this place is just full of wickedness.
Yeah,
man.
it's full of foul-spirited, degenerate imbeciles, man.
Yep.
And that's why we push these prophecies, man, because we want to get out of here, man. We want to see the so-called white man as he's out eating lunch. He's out eating lunch with a RFID microchip stuck in his arm, eating lunch, some of the finest cuisines, and the shadow of a missile cross him. As soon as he about to cut into that steak, that big old shadow of a missile come right over that restaurant and darken out that restaurant.
Job the 20th chapter.
I got
it.
Yeah, that's what we want to see,
That's
man.
what you got?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Bring that out.
Bring that out.
Hell yeah.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly.
When he's about to do what?
When he is about to fill his belly.
Hey, and that goes into the new world order. When they feel like they got their finalized plan almost finished, everything is flowing how we want it to flow. Which is the so-called white man, you're gonna have a heavy responsibility on your hand when it comes to the elect. You're not just gonna be able to scrape and scrub over them. You're gonna have you're gonna have to deal with them, man. Because they're gonna be coming, the spirit gonna have the elect coming with some real stuff. You know, some stuff that you've never seen. You can't prepare for what's coming for you from the elect, man. How you gonna prepare for what you don't know how to fight?
That's right.
You know, this is a level of power that you don't even know it really exists.
Mm-hmm.
So how could you even prepare for that, man?
Yeah, you had Trump speaking about creating a space force. He said they have an air force, they have the Marines, they have the Army and things of that nature. They just need a space force next. And that's, you know, people look at that as humor, but he's actually being literal. That's why even Ronald Reagan came up with the Star Wars program, man.
Yep.
Saying that there's an extraterrestrial force that comes from outer space or from a foreign area that they basically don't have signals on, and let all nations come together and assemble to fight against that specific power. They know that it's a heavenly Father. They know there's things out there.
Yep.
And just like Apostle Ramla, when he did that lesson, he was speaking about basically we're in outer space ourselves, man. We're organisms that's already in outer space, but these dumbasses believe that we're the only people in this one planet, so to speak, that exists. We're the only people that inhabit, Mother Earth, so to speak, and we're the only organisms that's alive, so to speak. Outside of this, there's nothing functioning in the outer realm, so to speak. There's nothing functioning in outer space. You have everything under monetization, man, by the angels and the Heavenly Father. And in a specific time appointed, the Lord is going to push that button and he's going to go to war, man.
I got a super quick one, and I'm going to finish your precept. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 2. And when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness.
Now, who is that talking about? Well, when you read up a verse above, it's speaking about the ones that afflicted us. Right. Now, who's the ones that afflicted us? Oh, well, of course, the so-called white man. Is that a question?
You read that in the second chapter.
Yeah, you know. Go ahead, brother.
Come on. You want me to start on one?
No, you can just get right into it.
It says, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for.
Yeah, because they wasn't expecting the glory and the majesty and the power that's going to come with Yahweh Shai. It's going to be something that we can't even wrap this around our mind, even though we have, you know, a kind of like a mind frame of how it may look. We don't even know, man.
Yeah, kind of.
Yahweh Shai gonna come back with some power that the earth has never seen. That's why I say they're gonna be amazed and astonished, man. You know, and they gonna hiss, man. That when you hiss at something, that's reflective of mourning, man.
Yeah.
You know.
One more, and then I'll pass it back. This is Sirach chapter 16, verse 20. No heart can think upon these things worthily, and who is able to conceive his ways? Yeah, you don't know the ways of the Lord, man. The Lord has to reveal his almighty power, man. So when he comes back, it's just not going to be, you know, like quiet. Like you're going to hear a trumpet.
Shout.
You're going to hear a great shout. You're going to see angels moving at the speed of light. You're going to see the mothership. The earth might shake, tremble.
Shake. The scriptures will shake to and fro like a trumpet.
Yep. Right. Then you're going to see the missiles, you know, Leviathan on one side, making it happen.
Multiple.
You know, brothers, you know, people getting lifted up. You know, all this stuff is you're going to hear a trumpet. You're going to hear in the Hebrew tongue, come up hither. You're going to hear all of this stuff, man. You're going to see and behold all of this happening at one time, man.
That's why the strangeness, something that's strange is foreign. That's a foreign way for people to get delivered out of captivity. Just like when we first got delivered out of Egypt, it speaks about how there was a pillar by day or as a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. That was a strange way for a nation to be delivered out of a captivity. Yeah, but we have favored in the eyes of Yahweh, you know. So in these times, Yahweh Shai, ultimately through Yahweh Shai, is going to deliver us, and he's going to come physically to deliver us in those chariots, man.
And that was Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
And that cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night, that was Yahweh Shai actually leading the children of Israel, man. You know? That was Yahweh Shai.
That death angel?
Yeah, he was the death angel, and that was him leading the children of Israel out of captivity. You know, under what? Under the order of who? Moses. Which is who? King David. So this thing is spiritual, man.
Hey, it's spiritual because we just got a message that says Russia prepares for nuclear war with U.S., instructing citizens to buy water and gas masks.
See? This thing is about to pop off. So, hey, brothers, look, we're going to say this. Be prepared for a situation with Israel real soon, man. Israel's going to do something to really ignite and fuel this tension between the two superpowers, man. And it's going to be game time, man. You know, before this great, you know, war pops off, there's going to be miniature wars, man. That's why it's called the Valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh. It's going to pop off over there. But then it's going to leak over here to America. So, hey, our salvation is close, man. Our redemption draweth nigh, brothers. We should be happy to see this stuff. You know, we should be happy to be persecuted wrongfully for the name's sake. You know, we should be happy to still be in His truth and pushing the prophecies in the year of prophecies. You know, seeing the brothers build up, seeing the Spirit of the Lord being more and more manifested. We should be happy to see these prophecies, man. You know, this is why we doing this, man. But you got something, bro?
Yeah, this is Jeremiah 50 and 40. It says, dang, so much in here. I'm going to get to the point. As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide therein, neither shall any son of man dwell therein.
Yeah, nobody's going to dwell here in America after it's all said and done, man. Capiche. You know, sayonara, man. You know, that's pretty much it, man. You know, that's why, you know, Apostle Ricard did that video. And man, it ain't nothing in the world, man. You know, you can't be no 1 foot in, 1 foot out Israelite, man. 1 foot in the world, 1 foot in the truth. You know, thinking that you're doing what you got to, man. It don't work like that, man. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to be fully engulfed in this thing, man. You know, you got to be fully lodged in the spirit, man, in order to see this thing unfold and in order to be protected and guided in the spirit, man. You know, because the overthrow is going to be symbolic of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, really, hey, it's going to be worse than Sodom and Gomorrah, man.
Yeah, you had Dick Gregory that made this quote. He said if the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and He won't overthrow America, then He owes Sodom and Gomorrah apology. Basically, because America pushes out all the wickedness of Sodom and Gomorrah times 10, man.
Yeah.
Not only do you have homosexuals and lesbians, you know, you have pedophiles.
You got trannies, bro.
You have transgenders.
LGBTQ.
Yep. You got websites dedicated to transgenders and things of that nature. Transgenders, dating sites and all that.
Human trafficking.
Yeah, human trafficking, sex trafficking, organ trafficking. All these different things is legal through the black market. America has legal ways of criminal activity. They just put it under black markets, man.
It's a black market.
The scriptures speak about through thy great trafficking. You know, what is that, Ezekiel or Isaiah, if I'm not mistaken? That's why this place has to go down. Because there's nothing more but Babylon just reestablished. You know,
that's right.
Babylon 2.0.
That's right, brother. God, you got some more?
Yeah, it says, behold, a great people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth.
Hey, and what is that talking about? A great kingdom coming from the north. That's talking about Russia. Yeah. All right? That's talking about Russia right there. You know, now America also in the scriptures is known as the North Country too. But in this scripture right here, that's going into Russia. You know? Go ahead, Al.
It says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel.
Yeah, and that goes into Jeremiah the 50th chapter 2. About they shall you know, be in array against Babylon and shoot the arrows round about.
Yeah, there's some verses up. I'm 50.
Okay, con.
Yep.
Yep.
It says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Their voice shall roar like the sea.
Oh, man, that's going into the missiles, man.
Yeah.
That's going into the missiles. That's how they going to make they words known, man. When the missiles is screaming through the sky.
Yeah.
And dropping, man. That's going to be a loud boom, man.
Yeah.
The sound alone can kill you.
Sure.
Just like when you watch 300, when that one individual that was a Persian representative, so to speak, he got his arm cut off by Leonidas, and he was popping big shit, and it was like, there's gonna be so many arrows that is gonna block out the sun. Mm-hmm. And that's how the missile's gonna be. The scriptures speak about how it's gonna be dark in that day, man.
Yep.
They laughed at that, though.
Yeah,
the scriptures speak about us laughing at.
Ooh, destruction.
Yeah,
God.
That was the laugh.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses. Everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon.
Yeah. Hey, that's right. And it says what, they shall run like horses.
Yep.
Now that's symbolic of his speed.
Yep.
The speed of it and the power of it too.
All right.
You know. Go ahead, bro.
The kings of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands wax feeble.
Yeah, see, they heard the report of them Russians.
The news reporters.
They know the strength. Like I had put into the group the other day. They had a basically a comparison of the Russian army against the American army, and basically on ground game and in sea, Russia pretty much got America as far as tanks and ground game and naval equipment, or vehicles. They got America in numbers, but America got Russia as far as the number of soldiers and aerial position, So the Americans heard the report, man. They know what the Russians working with. That's why they trying to do what? Stabilize it. You want to invade all these weak countries? Invade Russia. Invade Russia. Since you hard, invade Russia. Stop trying to be peaceful with them. You want to fuck everybody else shit. You over here whooping our ass. You know what I'm saying? You over here lighting up the children of Israel. Go talk to Russia.
Try Russia.
Hey, because you heard the report.
They know about Gog and Magog. They know the prophecy that speaks about how Gog and Magog is going to take down Babylon the Great. They know that this is Babylon the Great.
They trying to stop it, man.
Because every time the prophecies will come to pass and the empire will be established, the Most High through a prophet would show that what empire he was standing. Just like Nebuchadnezzar. The Most High through Daniel told Nebuchadnezzar, thou art that head of gold. When Alexander the Greek was in rulership, he wore that Greek leopard. All right? He understood through the prophets. It was actually the prophets, when you read it in Josephus, they told him that basically he's that prophet in the book of Daniel.
Yeah.
In Rome, they knew that there was that kingdom in Rome because they knew about the previous kingdoms. And following along in these times now, these individuals understand that this is Babylon the Great. They understand that this is the last kingdom. They understand that they're the Edomites, like it tells you in the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary, that Edom is the nation that's promised no mercy. They know that they're the nation that's not promised any mercy, but they're trying to overcome and hiccup or upset the prophecies, which is not going to happen.
So I'll keep going a little bit more, and I'll throw the rock. It says, the king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble.
He's scared. Go ahead.
Yep. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail.
That's right, man. And that's soon to come, man. You Americans are going to be in travail, man. Get your last couple bites of steaks in, porterhouses and
max your credit card.
Max your credit card out. Get your orgies out the way, because you running low, man.
Yeah.
You running low on time, bro. Like real low. You running low on time, and get it out the way, man. Go hunting, man. Get some hunting in.
Live your life.
Like
some niggas.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do, man. Go clean out your scope on your M16, man, and go drive through the west side of Chicago, man.
Yeah. Plant drugs
business.
on niggas.
Yeah, plant drugs on niggas. Put a brick in the nigga car and call the police on him.
Yeah.
Because your time is almost up, man.
Yeah.
Your time is almost up. So we was just joking, but your time is almost up, man. That's the serious note of it.
Yeah.
You've pretty much reached it, man. So we're gonna go back to Job the 20th chapter, then we're gonna get this in Joel the 3rd chapter.
All right. This is Job 20 and 23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him.
And the Lord is furious, like we read in Micah the 15th. His anger and his fury. Job is echoing the same sentiment of the Lord being furious and anger. Go ahead, brother.
It says, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Yeah, while he's satisfied though, because when you eat, that's a form of satisfaction. That's a form of comfort, and that's also a form of being happy. You know,
delicacies, kings, meats.
Yep, that's a form of you relaxing and being comfortable and satisfied, man. That's you know that when you eating and you have an invader, that's when you get taken by surprise. You know, go ahead.
Verse 24: He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through.
Yep, that bow of steel, talking about the missiles again, man. You got certain guys out here saying that the missiles ain't in the scriptures. You know, that's some bullshit, man. You know, the missiles are in the scriptures, man. All right, go ahead.
I got a quick point. Can you go to verse up real fast, just like you were speaking about the eating?
Verse 23.
And
we start at the top.
Yeah, just where he's talking about filling the belly.
It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast out the fury of his wrath upon him.
Keep going.
And shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Yeah, right. He is eating. And another word which I was thinking about is decadence. Because decadence goes into luxury, or like I said earlier, king's meat. The king's meat is known as the most satisfying substance to eat. But this is the definition of decadence. It says a person who is luxuriously self-indulgent. And when you really go into it, it says characterized by or reflecting a state of moral or cultural decline. You know, because even though you eating that king's meat, what does the scripture speak about with that king's meat? Even though you eat it, you get sick by it. You know, speak about when you stay away from it, when the individuals was eating the pulse, how their countenances were more fierce. And when you go into the origin of the word decadence, even though it goes into luxurious self-indulgence, it goes into the root word goes into decay.
Oh, man.
You know, because even though you're eating up all these different things and living in paradise and luxury, you're still going down, man.
Yeah.
Just like Roman bread and circus, they was eating and they was partying and bullshitting, but at the end of the day, the society wasn't going up. The better that they was eating, that it was going down. Tells you that in the prophecies, that victual shall be so good cheap that they thought that they would be in good case. They think that they will be in good case, but destruction to come, you know? Yeah, decadent. Or another, and synonyms is degeneracy, debauchery.
Hey, you notice every one of them start with D.
Yeah,
which
D.
means that, like, back.
Oh yeah, back. Yeah.
Yep.
Sin, moral decay, immorality. Yep. You go ahead.
Verse 25, it says, it is drawn and coming out of the body, yet the glittering sword coming out of his gall.
Man, what is that describing?
Right.
Terrible.
A glittering sword coming out of his what?
Coming out of his gall.
You know, it's like when you with the missile silos.
Yeah, that's a silence.
You know, when you see I know brothers seen like a video of a missile actually shooting up out of the ground, and opens up. It opens up and then it comes out, and the thing that comes out is that's the glittering sword.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is the missile.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it glistens. It glistens in the atmosphere. You know, it's polished, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's why scriptures speak about polishing that arrow, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's polished for what? Piercing. Whenever you polish or you sharpen the head of a spear or things of that nature, it's for the act of piercing. You know, these different techno geeks, so to speak, these individuals that work on missiles and things of that nature, that are always polishing and looking to update the production of these missiles to be more devastating. All right? And it's to be utilized. The Most High is creating these instruments for destruction.
Got it. That's right. Yep, that's right. I'm going to get this last precept and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's Joel 3:9. I'm going to just read this through, man, because it really speaks for itself. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And really, when you're going to beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, there's going into a time where basically you're going to have to make anything into a weapon because it's going to be a time of war.
Yeah, because plowshares and pruning hooks are instruments of agriculture.
Tilling, yeah.
Tilling. That's why when you look at the federal budget, they're really not putting a lot of money into the agricultural field. Majority of the budget is going towards the military.
Yep.
So they're not. So the plowshares and the pruning hooks, the money that would be invested towards agriculture is being invested towards military weapons because we're in a time of war.
That's right, brother. Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come.
And if I could say something too, and the scriptures speak about after the war that the spears and the
Michael 4.
Yep, the weapons will be beat back into the pruning hooks because that's when the kingdom of heaven is going to be built.
Not the art of war.
That's right.
They say beat your swords into plowshares and your spears into pruning hooks.
Yeah.
It's the opposite way around.
It's the opposite way around.
Yeah. Because that's when it ain't gonna, a sword shall not be lifted again.
Yep.
Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And that's how you know that really this last war is going to be, the major participants are going to be the heathen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he just said it. All ye heathen. This is a war that the heathens is getting into, man. You heathens are stupid, really, man. Here it is. You got Psalms 83. Y'all niggas that came up against us, being confederate with each other to come up against us. And then you go on down into Joel. Now y'all about to get into a big fiasco with each other. Y'all was just confederate, nigga.
Right.
You warned against each other.
Now you guys about to go to fucking neck and neck, man. Now here it is, and so y'all all up in Psalms 83 fucking with us.
Yep.
Then you go on down the line. Now y'all getting into it with each other. Dummies. You know? Verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. You know? And that's what this final war is boiling down to, man. Judgment coming up upon all the houses of the heathens, man. Every single household that has a heathen in it will be put into captivity. I don't give a damn if it's in the hilltops of Mongolia, man. They will be confiscated, man.
The plains of Djibouti.
Yeah. They will be confiscated, man. There's not going to be a straggler somewhere in the woods up in the Swiss Alps.
Well, what does it say in Jeremiah 16? Or 100 what? From the trust of the rocks?
Yeah, ain't gonna be no heathen village somewhere.
Nah.
Like, nah, man. All of y'all gonna get it, man.
God.
All of y'all are gonna get confiscated as possessions. You know, you're no longer going to be looked at as a human. You're going to be looked at as property.
Livestock.
You're going to be given a responsibility on whomever plantation, and you're going to have to get to what you know. You know, which is captivity, and we talking about hardcore, rigorous captivity, serious bondage, man. Serious bondage, man. You know, and it's going to come after this war, man. So, you know, we just wanted to go into the prophecy, man. You know, we're going to pray that the Lord keep shaking this thing up, keep making his thing go in. We close, brothers. Hey, don't lose your crown at the end. Keep fighting. You know, keep praying for each other. Pray for the Akim. You know, pray for yourself. You know, keep them spirits off you, man. You know, take your correction, your reproof. Keep laboring, man, because we see this thing unfolding, man. Don't give it up, man. You know, any closing words? Come on, brother. So, hey, you know, hopefully this was very edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We're going to close out giving all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Rakah Kodash.
Double honors once again to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace, safety, and much love to the elect men, women, and children. Shalom.
Shalom.